So today we'll learn about what are the APIs available in ServiceNow, client-side APIs and server-side APIs. Okay, so whenever we want to learn about any APIs or anything, so in ServiceNow we'll be logging into developer.servicenow.com. Here we can look under reference. Okay, so under APIs we want to explore client-side APIs here. Okay. There are few APIs like this we use in UI Builder, the Glide Ajax we use in client scripts, the Glide Form. So I can tell you mostly widely used APIs like Glide Form and Glide Ajax and Glide User, and then you can explore on your own like what are the other APIs and we can use those. Okay, so let's start with Glide User. Okay. So here Glide user APIs is in order to get the user information or about the user roles. Like whenever you want to get current user current logged in user name or SysID or whether he has some roles or not, then we will be using this Glide user API. Okay, so we can access this particular API using G underscore user, okay, which will be available in client's scripts. Okay, and there are few APIs. Let's learn by doing. Let me create one client script. Okay, so I'll create one client script. So in order to create client script, you have to select the client script which is under system definition. Okay. So, and I'll be clicking on new. Meanwhile, we'll see some API. Okay. There is API like G underscore user is a Glide user API. In that we have first name. Okay. So first name property is there. Similarly, last name is also there. Okay. So let's see how we can use those. Okay. So as of now, I'll create some unload client script. Unload client script means which will be loading whenever the form loads for the first time. Okay, but whenever the form is loading right now, whenever the form loads, the client scripts which are unload client script which will be running on that particular table. Okay, so I'm just showing some information. Display information and on which table I want to run this particular client script. So as of now, I'll select demo table. And here you can see the UI types. So whether you want to run it only on desktop view or whenever the users open it in mobile or from service portal. Okay, desktop means the same which we are using, it is desktop. And the mobile or service portal is, so the service portal is something which generally end user opens it. Okay, so here we have tables and few columns, right? So service portal will be interactive view, like it will be looking like a web page from where users will be seeing that those tables and few of the fields which are needed for them. Okay, do you want to apply to service portal or a desktop or both? You can select it here. As of now, I am selecting only desktop. And here, when this particular client script you want to run, so do you want it on load or on change of any field? On load is means on load of the entire form. If you select on change, you will be getting the field name. That means on change of any field do you want to run this. As of now, I want only an on load. Okay, you can learn about other types in detail when we learn about client script, but as of now I am just concentrating on the like what are the APIs. Okay, so almost all the APIs will be starting with G underscore in client side. So whenever you type G underscore and if you press control space, if you press control space, you will be getting what are all the APIs available. We have G underscore form, G underscore list, G underscore navigation, and G underscore user. So we want to explore G underscore user now. So in G underscore user, it is a global object. In that, after that, I got few like few properties. Okay, so here in the first name, I am getting yes. Okay, yes means it's a string. F means it's a function. Okay, so you don't have to go there and check whether it returns a string or it is a function. So you can directly based on this notation. Okay, S is there, right? That means it returns a string. User ID, it returns user ID as a string. Okay, so whenever if it is a function, you have to enclose in a bracket. So as of now, let's get the username. Let's get the first name first. Okay, so it returns a string. So I want to store in some variable. First name is current logged in user first name. I'll be getting. Okay, so I want to display it. Okay, we can use alert name of logged first name of logged in user. We can say. First name of logged in user is, so this is in double quote. So in double quotes we will be getting whatever we have written to the user. So I want to add some dynamic information, so I am concatenating or appending it using plus icon this particular variable. Okay, if I do plus, okay, I'm getting, so what I'll be getting, first name of logged in user is space, first name is, my first name is system, as my name is system administrator, I have logged in as system administrator. I should get first name of logged in user is system. Okay, so let's check now how it works. I'm saving the record and let me refresh it. So I got first name of logged in user is system. Okay. So how I got it? I have used the API G underscore user dot first name in order to get the first name. Okay. Similarly, we will be having multiple other functions or strings in it. Okay. So here if it is yes means it's a string, it returns string. F means it returns like it is a function. Okay. Similarly, first name and last name are same. User ID will be returning you the sys of the current user. You can go here like check, returns the sys. Username will be returning the, it will return the username. Username is user ID. Like how can I know the user ID means it's my, whenever I log in, I enter right admin and password. So let me open it in the default view. So here the user ID is admin. So whenever I use get user like g underscore dot username means I'll be getting that particular user ID. Okay. And there are other functions like get client data and set client data that we rarely use. So let's not go there. So we'll know get full name for now. Okay. So g underscore dot. Let's see what are the other functions we have. We have get full name. Okay. If you just go through these, it automatically tells you, returns the first and last name of the current user, get full name. And here I can see F means it should be function. So if I enter, like I am going through each of those and I won't get full name. So I am clicking on enter now. So it is coming as function. Okay. So now if I save it and reload it, I should be able to get the full name. So I'm getting user is system administrator. Why? Because I have used get full name function in the g underscore global object. Okay. Similarly, we can use other functions. Okay. So has role will check whether this particular logged in user has some role or not. Okay. So has role exactly, has role from the list. All these are to check the roles. Okay. We can so has role means it will check whether the logged in user has some particular role or not. Returns true if current user has a selected role or the admin role. Okay. So here has role will return true if he has the given role or admin role. So for example, whatever like as I am an admin, like I have admin access, right? So this is my user profile. And if you see in the roles, if you see in the roles, I have admin role. So as I'm an admin, if I give any role for the has role, it will be always gives me true. Why? Because this particular has role, what it returns, has roles returns true if current user has the selected role or the admin role. So as I'm having admin role, it will be returning true always for me. But if you do not, if you want to check only user has that particular role, then we have to use has role exactly. That means until and unless we have that role, it won't return true. Okay. So let's check few things. For example, here we have 25 roles. In this, I want to check for ITI. So system administrator don't have ITL role. Okay. So if I check with as role exactly ITIL. Okay, I want to check whether user has ITL role or not. If you are not sure how to use this has role exactly, you can go here in the documentation and you can check. Okay, has role exactly accepts two parameters, determines to include default. So here it accepts role and here boolean is include default. So flag that indicates whether to include default roles such as SNC internal access. So this you can define. So that will know later. First, just check whether we have ITL role or not. Okay. So has role. So I want to display here saying whether he has the role or not. Okay. So if has role returns true, I want to say the current logged in user has that particular role. Okay. So for what I want to do, if has role returns true, that means if has role equals to true means this if will get executed. And then I want to show this alert. What I'll show, the logged in user name, like system administrator has ITL role. I want to show it like that. So for system administrator, I want to make it dynamic. So I will use g_user dot get full name. Okay, and I want to append it with system administrator as the ITL role. Okay. Otherwise, what I can do, I can store this in some variable var name, and I'll replace it here with name. Name has ideal role. Else, what I want to say, I want to alert user doesn't have not having ideal role. So system administrator not having ideal role. Okay, why I'm getting is like if I check in the roles, I don't have ideal role. Okay, that's why I'm getting system administrator not having ideal role. But instead of has role exactly, if I just use has role, it will return true. Why? Because this particular function will check whether user has that role or he's admin. So I'm an admin, so it returns true. So now it should return me, it should say system administrator has the ideal role. Okay. So for example, if you have multiple roles and you want to check at least one of the role is user having, then you can check use as role from list returns true if current user have at least one of the roles specified or admin role. Okay, for example, you can check, you might want to check whether he has essence internal or main or ITL or any other role, at least one of them. If you want to check, then you can use as role from list. Okay. So we are seeing this include defaults as a boolean. So it is an optional flag you want to check. So whether you want to include the default roles as well. Like in Servicenow, what happens is in some applications we will be getting SNC internal and SNC external as by default. So if you just create any user for them, we will be getting this SNC internal and SNC external roles by default. Okay, we don't have to give them any role, but by default we will get it. So in those cases, we might want to not consider those roles. So whenever you do not want to consider, then you can give the second parameter as false. Okay. So what are like we have set client data and get client data. So we can go through this later whenever we come out about like client scripts and all. Okay. So that is the Glide user API. We have Glide form API as well. Okay. So in Glide form API, we have lot of functions actually. Okay. I'll first tell you what are all the like widely used functions, widely used functions. Okay. So for example, let's type G underscore form. Okay. G underscore is a glide form. So, so this G underscore form will deal with the form. Okay. G underscore form is a global object used in client side script to customize forms. So we have this form, right? So like I want to populate something to it whenever something happens, or I want to make it read only or a mandatory based on certain conditions. Okay. In those cases, I will be using this glide form. Okay. Let's see what are all the functions it has. Okay. So glide form has add decoration, add error message, add info message. Okay. So instead of alert, I want to use add info message. So this add info message will be displaying informational message on top of the form. Okay. Informational message means it will show some info on top of, so instead of alert, I want to use that. Okay, I'll remove this and I'll place it in this here. Okay. Similarly for else as well, I'll do that. Okay. So instead of alert, I want to get the info message. Okay. So now if I refresh, still I'm getting alert. Let me check. Okay, so this alert is not removed, so that's why I'm getting. Let me save it. And now if I refresh, so I'm getting this info message. System administrator has ITL role. So if you just want to show like some info message, then you can use add info message. Okay. Similarly, we have add error message as well, where in case, for example, you want to show some error, then you can use like in red color. Similarly, like info message, we will be getting error message as well. Okay, for that we have to use add error message. Okay, which will be like, for example, G underscore form, add error message. Okay, which says don't submit the form without filling all the fields. For example, this is the error message we want to show. Okay. So how it will be displaying, like it will be similarly like this, but with in red, like red color. Okay. So whenever you want to get Hello. Actually, okay. So whenever we want to show some error message, we'll be using add error message, and we will be showing like this. Okay. So whenever we want to get some value of any of the field, what we can use is we can use, for example, I want to get the category. Okay. So we can use g underscore form dot get value. Okay. So this, if I use get value, okay, and I have to pass the field name to it. Like if I say just get value, it won't know which field value I want to get. So I have to pass the field name of which field you want that value. Okay. So I want to get the value of category. So I'm storing in the category. Okay. So let's check what is the value it is returning as of now. So I'll just add an add info message and say category is. So category is hardware. Okay. So I got category is hardware. Why? Because the category has been selected as hardware. Okay. So whenever we want to get the values of any of the fields, we have to use g underscore form dot get value. Okay. So similarly, if you want to set some value, like you want to update some value through the script based on some conditions, or it can be anything, then you can use set value. For example, upon loading the form, I want to uh, give the value to the g underscore form dot set value. Okay, set value will set the value and display value of the field will be displayed if there is no display. Okay, so here we can set the value which accepts field name and the value and the display value. Okay, for example, I want to set the short description to hello. Okay, let's check how it works. Okay, let me just confirm. Yeah, so if I reload, so it became hello after loading the form. Okay, how it became hello, even if it was hey. Why? Because on load of the form, I'm setting the value from here. Okay, and whenever you are setting the value for any reference fields or any choice values, the display value and actual value will be different. What I mean is, for example, for u underscore category, what is the value we are getting? We are getting hardware, okay, which starts with small h. But what we are seeing is capital H. Okay, so actual backend value of that particular category is different. So whenever you are setting the values for any of the reference fields or choices, what you have to do is, if you can give the system the display value, it will be better. Otherwise, what it will do, it will just set the value, and in order to get the display value, it has to do some other calls like API calls in order to get those values. Okay, so in order to avoid that, whenever you are setting the value for any reference fields or choice fields, even try to give the display values as well. For example, I want to set the category. Okay, I want to set the category to software. Okay, I am passing the value here, and the display value of the software is capital, starts with capital S and software. Okay, on load of the form, how I am setting the value of the categories, I am passing the first parameter as the field name and value and the display value. Okay. So now it became software on load of the form. Okay. So similarly, whenever you want to use it for reference field, you want to set the values, you have to give the SysID as a value of that particular user and the username as like display value. Okay. So let's check what are all the other functions like we have. For example, on load of the form, we want to make uh, like we want to make short description as mandatory. Let's say now we don't have nothing, and I want to save the form, but what I want to do is I want to make the short description mandatory. Okay, so how I can do it? G underscore form dot set mandatory field name and value. So field name is u underscore short description. Field name, and I want to, so if you recheck what it accepts. Okay. So set mandatory, it accepts string, which is field name, and next parameter it accepts a boolean, whether it's true or false. You want to make it mandatory, then you have to pass true. If you want to make it not mandatory, then you have to give false. Okay, so now I want to make it mandatory, so I want to pass as true. Okay. So now it became mandatory. So even on load of the form, I'm making it mandatory, so I can't save this until and unless I fill this. Okay, that's why I'm getting that red box. Okay, so until and unless I give something, it won't save. Why? Because on load of the form, I make it mandatory. Okay. Similarly, for example, you want to make this particular number read only. Okay, read only means we don't want users to edit it. Then how you can do it? G underscore form dot set read only. Okay, which accepts field name and the value similarly like set mandatory. But here we have to do for number field and pass through. So whenever form gets loads successfully, it will become read only. Okay. So we have other functions like these as well, like for example, add decoration, like which we don't use it much, where like for example, you want to have some decoration like star or dot icon or some other icon before this particular label. Okay, then you can use this add decoration. Okay, I'll just use this in order to show how it will look like. Okay, for example, for short description, I want to have some star icon. Okay, and I want to give some hint. If I refresh, so I got this star, and on hover of star, I'm getting something which is hint, which I have written here. Like here, as of now, I have written preferred member as a hint whenever we hover on the star. Okay, so that's why whenever we hover on the star, I'm getting preferred member. We can write anything based on our requirement. Okay, so we can give any of the icons like group icon or light icon or home icon based on our requirement. Okay. We can even give the color if you want to give what color you want for that star or any icon similarly. Okay. We have learned about add error message. Okay. Add form message is something displays the floating form message at the top of the form. Let's say how this looks. Okay. This form message. We have info message, warning message, and error message. Let's see how this is looking. Okay. This is a form message. We have added 6 message like for info, warning, and error. For each, we have added 2. Let's got saved and let me refresh the form now. I'm not getting that. Let's see what is the problem with it. Let me remove this message and let's see why this form message. Let me comment it. So displays a floating form message at the top of form with detail section. The message doesn't cover UI action. See also clear form messages. But it's not getting applied. I don't know why. Maybe they have added this newly, but it's not supporting. So let me only give one such value and check. So as of now, I have added only one form message. It says info message. But it's not working. I don't know why. And even I didn't use it. I guess it recently came, this particular API. Okay. Let's leave it. As of now, it's not working. So we have something called add option. Okay. So based on some conditions, okay, for example, we have category here, right? Software and hardware. And dynamically based on some condition, we want to add some options like hardware and software. We might want to add something like facilities, okay, or HR, something like that as a categories based on which user has been logged in or based on his roles. Then dynamically, if you want to add some options, we can use add option where we can give the field and the choice value and the choice label. Okay, so uh, this clear form, if you want to clear all those form messages, as of now this is not working. So this clear messages will be there, right? So whenever there are info messages, okay, so whenever some certain condition matches, you don't want those. So whenever you don't want those, then you can use this clear messages. Okay, so this clear messages will remove all the messages clear. Okay, which will clear the all types of messages, and clear options removes all the options from the choice list. So for example, you don't want anything in this, you want to add each one by one based on your condition. So clear all options means you can just see none, you can't see software or hardware if you execute this. Okay, and clear value, which will be clearing the field value. Like for example, you want to make that field empty. Okay, then we can use clear value. Okay, if you want to disable attachments that this for this particular form, then you can use g underscore form dot disable attachments. Then we won't be seeing this icon in order to attach this any of those. Okay, similarly there are multiple others, so many functions are there, so you can go through those. I have covered mostly used functions. Okay, so like whenever you want to get any sections or section names, you can use this, or table name. Get unique value means it will return the sys ID. So you can go through all these and practice. Like if you are not able to get about any of the function, or you are struggling to how to use that, then you can uh, ping me. Okay, so the mostly used client side APIs are Glide user and Glide form. We have Glide list and Glide navigation, but we won't use that very much. Okay, and we have other APIs, all these as well. So this UI builder will be coming in UI builder, so that we don't use it in client script. So this, I have never used all of this. I have used Glide Ajax. Regarding Glide Ajax, we will be learning whenever we learn about client scripts. Okay. Okay, that's it for today. Tomorrow we can start regarding what are the types of client scripts, and then we can learn about how to communicate like between clients and server, all those. Okay.